Hey, it's D-Town Jackal here with another action figure review, and this time we're going to look at the X-Men 97 Magneto. So here we have the front of the box of the X-Men 97 Magneto, and on the back of the box we can see it clearly says Marvel Legends Series. You have a picture of Magneto standing there with his little hand out, and next to him you have little headshots of Wolverine, Rogue, Storm, Bishop, and Gambit. Like, if you look at the box, I mean, the box art's really cool looking. It's very retro. It's on a card, and very reminiscent of like the Kenner Star Wars action figures and stuff like that. But if you want to open them up, you're gonna have to like mangle the box a certain way. Well, not the box, but the card, because it's like a double carded type deal here. So there's like an insert of the plastic that goes inside here. So what I'm going to do, because I don't want to mangle up the card, I'm just going to slice it up down here from the bottom and just slide them out. So that way, if I don't display them out like on a flight stand, I can still just put them back in here when I'm done with them. So that's the way I'm going to attack this. So Magneto first appeared in the 1963 issue of X-Men #1 and was the main adversary of the X-Men. Now, the character is a powerful mutant that basically has the ability to generate and control magnetic fields. So Magneto kind of regards himself as the evolutionary superior to humans and rejects mostly any kind of peaceful human mutant coexistence. So he's constantly like trying to be like a terrorist in the comics to the human race. But rightfully so, there are times where he's actually in his right. So here we have the X-Men 97 Magneto straight out of the box, and I have him on this little flight stand here because for some reason he's just kind of a little wonky in terms of his standing ability by himself. As you can see, he's kind of like moving around or whatnot. Look at that. It's the peg hole. So he has a peg hole at the bottom of his feet, two of them. But he's moving around kind of weird, so I guess I'll just kind of hold them like this. Look at that. So this is like so far the only issue I've been having with them, just having them stand appropriately. But other than that, he looks pretty dope. I normally like to ask, is it worth it? Or, like to get a figure, if like, is it going to add to the collection or what I'm trying to do? And this particular figure, I'm really thinking it is worth it outside of the standing, because, and I'm going to bring in for comparison before I get into articulation. This is the Magneto now. This is the Magneto from the Jubilee wave, the Build-A-Figure Jubilee. And right off the top, I'm covering his face because as soon as I reveal, a lot of people that are collectors are going to be like, what the hell? Okay, so his face, that's actually Steve Rogers' face from the stealth suit, Captain Steve Rogers stealth suit. And I didn't like the head sculpt that the Jubilee wave had. In my opinion, I think it was a repainted head sculpt of the Iceman from the X-Men First Class wave. And anyway, it kind of looked like an old man, like a vulture. I don't know, dude. But it looked nuts. But for comparison, I have the body here. And check this out. Just for giggles, look. So yeah, I dremeled his head so that way this helmet could fit on there. But anyway, so this is the Jubilee Wave Magneto body. This is X-Men 97, and right off the top, you can see so many differences. They went with a cape that doesn't remove, and the Jubilee Wave has a removable cape, but it also comes with like this moving around, and it just it makes the figure very unstable. And it does have a little bit of like kind of like dry brushing and shadowing on the legs, and this one doesn't. So it's more of a, I guess, replica of like the actual cartoon. And that's one of the things I really do like. So I'm put this away. Those are the main differences in terms of like coloring and just a little bit of the detail. And the body casting is different, and the underwears are different too. See, it's like kind of painted over here on his like upper thigh swivel part, and over here it's not just straight underwears. Anyway, so get out of here, Magneto. So anyway, So this guy here, if we kind of get in more in depth into his face, so we have a better look into his face, and his helmet is not removable, but you can see this shadowing right here that he has, where it makes his little circles, his eye circles dark. Man, that looks dope. I like that. That's a big plus, and the head sculpt is way better than any Magneto figures I've seen recently. I like that a lot. So now we're kind of looking at his body, and he has a cape that's like pliable material. It's not too hard plastic, but it does kind of like move around, and it's not completely removable. I don't think. Maybe I don't know. Let me see. I don't think it is, but it does come up like that, so you can get a flight stand right in here and post them up, which I think is way better than the other Magneto cape. And let's see here. Hold on. Just kind of do a couple. And he's straight out of the box, so it's kind of stiff. But you can do some good poses here. So in the way of articulation, his head does turn all the way around. His head does look down to this degree, so that's not much. Oh, there you go. A little bit more. He gives you more head. He gives you more head. So, and he can look up to this amount. So that's pretty dope. I like that. You got some good head range. Good head range. His arm does turn. So his arm opens up like this, and so swings open. You have double jointed elbows. You have bicep swivel, and then right here you have wrist articulation, and the wrist swivels as well with interchangeable hands that you have here. So the interchangeable hands are just closed fists. He gets two fists here. He has an ab diaphragm crunch here. And he has, as stated before, he has like an upper thigh swivel here, double jointed knees, and there's no like calf swivel, but he does have ankle rocker, pivot down here, and peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So all in all, do I think it's worth it to get this figure? Now, yeah, and I say that only because I think the head sculpt looks way better than this one, or I mean, I don't have like the Age of Apocalypse Magneto, so that's why I kind of got this one. But this one, the head sculpt looks so dope. Looks way better than this one. I do like that the helmet on this one has the little purple here, and this one it doesn't. So I mean, that's kind of like the downside for me, that it's not purple here. But I mean, overall, it is way better. The only thing about this figure that this figure can do a little bit better is get on a flight stand, and I'll show you here. So because the cape is not going to remove or anything like that, it's not removable. When you put on a flight stand, it's just like, look, I mean, this is supposed to go around his waist, right? And I don't want to spend too much time fiddling with it, but as you can see, like, you can already imagine that if I try to turn him around, the cape's going to get in the way, and it's just a no-go. So you're going to have to get creative with the kind of flight stand you do use with it. You can't use, like this one's a Fortnite one from the guy from Fortnite. But I tend to use this with this particular Magneto, and it does look way better when he's in the air. Anyway, I'm not going to fiddle with that. So all in all, I do think this figure is a get. It's a must-have. I do like this newer body than the other one that I have. So that, I think that's kind of cool. The coloring is pretty cool. The little shading here, that's all dope. And I kind of dig that this does come all together and doesn't all just fall off like the other one.
So those were my thoughts on the X-Men 97 Magneto. And again, if you like what I do, you want to support what I do, you can go ahead, follow me on TikTok, you can subscribe to me on my YouTube, like, share, subscribe. And again, if you like my channel, you want to see more of this content, go ahead and drop a comment. D-Town Jackal out.